Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Jake Sheff, bringing you all of the latest news and stories from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Earlier this week, Keego Harbor residents and stakeholders came together to discuss the city's future. Harbor Steakhouse was the setting where about 90 people joined to talk about the state of their beloved small town, discussing its potential, defining their belief of strong leadership, and encouraging each other that Keego's brightest days are still very much ahead. Our team's Tyler Keefe will have an inside look at the informal gathering coming very soon, so stay tuned on CivicCenterTV.com and across all of our social media for the report. Coming Thursday night, a big decision for the City Council in Keego Harbor. Earlier this week at the Council study session, 6 applicants were interviewed for the City Council seat that was vacated following the recent resignation of longtime councilman and former Mayor Rob Kalman. The newly appointed council member will serve to the end of Kalman's term, which expires in November. The City Council will formally vote to appoint its newest member on Thursday at their meeting. That is 7 p.m. at Keego Harbor City Hall and live right here on Civic Center TV. If you would like to see the applicant interviews, we did a special broadcast of the study session on Tuesday evening. That is currently available on our Facebook page and will be available on demand on CivicCenterTV.com, as well as during our regular meeting replay blocks on Wednesday and over the weekend. Yesterday was the Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair. The entire Civic Center team was out at Orchard Mall seeing and learning about the many healthy resources available for everybody within the Greater West Bloomfield community. Myself, as well as our other reporter, Jonathan Montgomery, went around the event speaking to more health officials in the community, learning about more and more opportunities to prioritize your health and your body. One of the people I spoke with was Ryan Curley, the owner of Lift Training Gym in West Bloomfield, who spoke with me about what he has to offer and how the community can stay in shape.
We've got a lot of resources here. It's great that we have a gym available for the community to learn more about. What can you tell me about Lift Training Gym?
Yeah, so Lift Training, we're all individualized, all customized training. So if somebody's looking to do anything to level themselves up, we can customize a program around all of their needs and their wants. We also have a proprietary assessment process that goes through all of their body's flexibility and mobility. So then we can take their goals of what they want, and then we can listen to their body and what they need, and then we can come up with a very customized, individualized program to get them to the results as fast as possible.
That's amazing, and I see we have some resources available, really showcasing the Lift Training brand, making sure everybody gets in shape, everybody gets buff and ready for the summer season, want to see those beach bodies. I mean, what's specifically about Lift Training that you think sets it apart from other gyms in the area?
Yeah, I think we have a couple of different things about us. We have our individual customized programming for everybody. We also have a really cool semi-private program where you can work out more in a group setting, but everybody is working on their own individual program, which no other gym in the area does.
So that's good because let's say people are joining the gym together, everybody can kind of go at their pace. Nobody ends up like sticking their toe in the deep end of the water too early. Everybody kind of eases into the process at whatever level they want to be at.
Yeah, definitely. Our biggest thing is we want to give him the minimum tolerable dose to get the maximum effect of the exercise. So we're not always more is better. Better is better when it comes to lift. So we make sure that we do everything with intent. We do everything with purpose, and that we're not just killing people with exercise. We're actually moving them one step closer to their goal.
Now, Ryan, I'm going to be honest. When it comes to people joining the gym, it's one of those common things you hear at the start of every year. It's like, I'm going to get into shape. This is going to be my New Year's resolution. And then a lot of the times, it doesn't always pan out. What do you think what do you think is the mentality that you need to have for tackling something like Lift Training Gym to make sure that you get into a good routine and that you really stay the course?
Yeah, it's commitment. And it's the first thing that we ask a lot of our clients is how committed are you to actually achieving this goal? Because if you're like 50% committed or on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 7 and below, it's maybe a discussion that we need to have of, hey, maybe we're not right for you. Maybe you need to try it on your own and then come back to us when you're ready.
I love that. And I see, I see something over there. It looks like it's some kind of protein powder of sorts. So you guys have that available for people in the community as well. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have a whole line of supplements for us. We partnered with First Form, which is a great supplement brand. We also have other partners in the community that can do like full nutrition needs when it comes to meal packages and whatnot. We also have a peptide program in our gym, and we also have an in-house physical therapist to make sure that we're meeting all the needs of anybody that comes in the gym.
I love that. You've got resources available for everybody, for whatever they need to really make sure they feel comfortable with an environment like Lift Training Gym. Last question, Ryan, what are you hoping that the community understands about these resources available here within Greater West Bloomfield, and knowing that we have trainers like you available to really help get everybody in shape and to stay healthy?
Yeah, I would like the community to know that we are some of the top trainers in the state, and that if you want the best of the best to get to your goals as fast as possible, Lift Training is the place to do it.
And that's just a taste of what was in store at this year's Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair. If you were not able to attend Orchard Mall for the event, you can check out all of the action on civiccentertv.com on our on-demand page to see the entire show, and stay up to date with our social media, all across our social media, to see some additional interviews from myself and Jonathan Montgomery from some more vendors at this year's event. The 2026 Juneteenth celebration in West Bloomfield continues a community tradition that began in 2021 as a grassroots effort to honor freedom, educate residents about American history, and celebrate the diversity that strengthens the community. The event is scheduled for June 19th, 2026, and the event is free and open to the public, welcoming residents of all ages to participate in a day of education, reflection, entertainment, and community connection. Dr. Kimberly Matthews, the chairperson for the Juneteenth Jamboree this year, joined us on The Splash recently to tell us more. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Jake, for having me. Good morning.
Good morning to you as well. This is one of the most anticipated events throughout Greater West Bloomfield. Everybody's looking forward to it. Now, for those who may be a little unfamiliar with the event, what would you say is the biggest mission and significance of West Bloomfield's Juneteenth celebration?
Several things. We would like to celebrate the freedom of the enslaved people of the United States in 1865. And we want to celebrate the freedom that we all enjoy now in America. And finally, we want to connect our neighbors so that we can get to know each other. And it's been going great.
I think it has been too. I've been to the last couple Jamboree celebrations. It's such a fun day in Greater West Bloomfield, and the event has continued to grow ever since it was first established. What has been the most rewarding part for you in watching this growth occur?
The most rewarding part for me is getting to know the community members, the people that have their own organizations, the business owners. And to be a part of the planning, we have seen so much growth with younger people. So that has been meaningful to me.
That's right. Seeing that influence and seeing that love spread all throughout the community, it's always wonderful to see. Now, the last few years, the Juneteenth Jamboree has been held at the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Building. That is not the case this year, as they're undergoing their construction efforts. So instead, the celebration will be taking place at Covenant Baptist Church. Why was the church chosen as the new location for this year's Jamboree?
Well, we were having a committee meeting, and Kelly Heyer, the Parks and Rec director, let us know that the building was not going to be available, and did we have any ideas? And I told her I would check with Covenant Baptist Church, and so I did. I approached the board and told them what the community need was. And the executive board of Covenant Baptist Church unanimously agreed to have the community come in, and they agreed to host it and to provide the space for no charge.
That's amazing, and that's so generous of the Covenant Baptist Church in West Bloomfield to open their doors and to welcome the community for an event like this. And I would imagine with the new venue, it's going to maybe enhance the experience for everybody, for the attendees, the vendors, performers, the partners. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. We are only 2 miles away from the West Bloomfield Civic Center, so it's easy to get to. It's a very large building, and so we'll be able to accommodate the participants. Last year, we had about 450 throughout the day, and so we can accommodate that size. And we have volunteers from inside of the organization and outside to make the experience wonderful. And the outdoor space is lovely. I think that people will enjoy that too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a beautiful day. And you said 450 last year. I have a feeling that number is going to be quite a bit higher this year for the Jamboree. Now let's go into the event itself. What can visitors expect from the 2026 celebration that may be new or expanded compared to previous years?
Okay, well, we're going to continue with our foundation, which is starting out with speakers who can educate us, inspire us, like West Bloomfield Police Department Chief Dale Young is going to be there. We're going to have Dr. Sonia James from the West Bloomfield School District. And so we start out with speakers and education. But then we go right to the fun. And so we're going to have dance teams like Alnura African Dance, the Detroit Swag Team Hustlers, and we will have those fans again this year as we learn how to hustle. We're going to have lots of food again, pizza, ice cream. Of course, we'll have Henry Ford Chef bringing us those delicious gourmet treats. And so one of the newer things that we were able to get as we increased our sponsorships was an inflatable outdoor obstacle course for the kiddos. And so I'm excited about that.
All right, sounds like there's something for everybody. And you just mentioned how there's these fun dance routines, all this fun to have throughout the day, but there's also a good amount of education that comes with an event like this. How do you find the balance between the educational aspects of Juneteenth with the celebratory atmosphere of the event?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that because usually we just had it, separated, the morning speakers and then the fun. But because of connections in the community, our founding chair, Amy Medell, was just out and about in West Bloomfield, and she ran into Kathy Russ from the library, and they were talking about how she had so much space at Covenant for her craft and coloring station, and she didn't know how to fill it up. And so they came up with the idea to have the West Bloomfield Mobile Library at the event. And so we'll have crafts, arts, able to check out books all at the same time all day long. So it is evolving and becoming more collaborative as far as those two aspects.
Sounds like it. It's great that we're getting everybody involved with this event. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Dr. Kimberly Matthews, the chairperson for this year's Juneteenth Jamboree celebration, which is going to be scheduled for June 19th at the Covenant Baptist Church in West Bloomfield. Now, Kimberly, what do you think an event like this, and in seeing the people that show up, and seeing all the fun, and seeing all the excitement at this event, what do you think that says about West Bloomfield as a whole?
Oh, it definitely shows that we are already connected. We are neighbors. We celebrate each other's cultures, our differences, and it's a very inviting community. And I think that this will help our community to grow and to continue to be closer.
That's right. And especially with the younger members of the community, the kids, the teens, everybody stopping by for this event. What impact have you seen the Juneteenth celebration have on the younger residents and the families who attend every year?
Well, it's really incredible to see the young people. And I think that we have gotten a lot of help from the West Bloomfield School District. And so what the families can expect is a lot of fun without any pressure. This is a non-religious, non-political event. And so we're just really trying to open it up to everyone. Like I said, we have the inflatable obstacle course. We have prizes. We have ice cream. We're having things to make it even more family friendly.
That's perfect. Now, with this event, looking ahead, let's start to look ahead to the future, Kimberly. What is your long-term vision for the future of Juneteenth in West Bloomfield, and where would you like to see this event maybe within the next 5 years?
Well, first, I'd like to say you asked me a similar question last year, and you said, what do you hope to see this year? And I said, I would like to add on more young people and art. And so this year we're having the Freedom Art exhibit with some of our local artists. And I'm so happy about that. And we have the additional things for the children. In the future, I would like us to continue something that we've started that I really didn't expect, and that's the input from our business community. We have had very strong support from our business community, starting with Sharky Haddad and the Chaldean Commerce Chamber of Commerce. We're going to be inviting in the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. Other community organizations. We have the full support of our township supervisor, Jonathan Warshay. And so I'm looking forward to getting all the pieces together, the businesses, the community organization, the leadership, so that we can move this forward into our everyday lives and not just on June 19th.
I love that, bringing everybody together and making this event have messages people can remember all year round. That's always amazing to see, Kimberly. A couple more questions before we wrap things up. If someone has never attended before, what would you tell them about why they should come out and be a part of this year's celebration?
I would tell them that this is an opportunity, and so if they've never been out, it's been going on 6 years. They either just moved here or they're a little bit shy. And so I would encourage them to come out and meet your neighbors. It really enhances your life, even your longevity, to connect with people in your community. So I would invite them to come out, get to know us, enjoy the food, the fun, and the community, and also the education.
Hope everybody takes away something powerful from this event. And above all else, Kimberly, last question. What message would you like the community to take away from the 2026 Juneteenth celebration as the nation continues to reflect on its history and its progress?
Okay. So that is a good question. And so I wanted to make sure I got the answer complete. So I am going to read. We as a country have made lots of progress since Freedom Day on June 19th, 1865. But we still have a long way to go, and we are stronger together. Thanks.
I love it. Very powerful words for everybody to keep in mind. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you, Jake.
Amazing preview for an incredible event that is coming very, very soon to West Bloomfield. Once again, the Juneteenth Jamboree is taking place on Friday, June 19th at the Covenant Baptist Church in West Bloomfield. Some big changes are happening within West Bloomfield High School. The school recently named Megan Hritzai as the new assistant principal, bringing a strong background in education, student support, and school leadership into the role. Hritzai steps into the position with a commitment to fostering academic excellence, student engagement, and a positive school culture for all Lakers. She joins us now on the Splash Live to tell us more about her new position. Megan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I am great, and I'm sure you are great as well. Congratulations on your new role as assistant principal at West Bloomfield High School. What attracted you to this opportunity to and make it the right next step in your career?
So I've been with the district for 10 years. I just finished my 10th year teaching in West Bloomfield at West Bloomfield High School, and it has just given me so many opportunities to grow and learn. In the past few years, I've had the opportunity to take on teacher leadership roles within the district and have been a part of many different professional learning organizations. And so all of these kind of led me to seek the next step in my career. I plan to continue to build upon the relationships I've built and be able to move beyond my classroom and start helping make more systemic changes. I'm excited to be a part of the admin team at the high school and be a part of the district as a whole, and to continue learning and growing in a district that I love.
I'm sure the school is is very happy to have you in this new position as well. Now, you talked about how you've spent 10 years as a teacher, a science teacher, if I'm not mistaken. What is it like to be transitioning from teacher to a principal role with West Bloomfield High School?
Yeah, so even though I'm starting a new role in the building, I'm learning. I have a lot to learn. It'll be a year of learning for me, but I'm comforted by the fact that I already know the people that I'm going to be working with. So I know different personalities. I know the teachers. I know the staff. I know the admin team. I know central office. I've worked with many of these people for 10 years. So although I know that the transition is going to be different, not going back to a classroom and having these people as my colleagues that I'm teaching with, I believe that the relationships I've built and the leadership I've already shown in the teacher leadership positions I've held will make it a smooth transition.
I think so too. And of course, we always want to know about maybe like the vision that you want to have, especially when you get things started in your new role. So as you begin this role, what are some of your top priorities for students, staff, and families within the school district and within the high school?
So more than anything, my priority is really that students, staff, families feel like they belong at West Bloomfield High School, that they feel like they're a part of the school community. I want them to feel like their voice matters and that they have a say in the school that they come to every day. So in my role specifically, I want to continue to look at our course offerings, the classes that we offer to students in our master's schedule to make sure that students have every opportunity that they can to learn what they want, to help them prepare for their futures outside of our building, and that teachers also have the opportunity to teach what they're passionate about. As a teacher, I was a big part of the SEL committee, bringing social emotional learning to our building and creating an advisory program. And so I want to continue to nourish that team of teacher leaders that's a part of that SEL team, and to continue to strengthen our advisory program for students and for staff.
It's really great that we have somebody in this role that was once a teacher, so you understand that perspective and you know some of the things the teachers are going to be looking for within the school district and within the high school as well. Now, with this new position, you're going to be working very closely with West Bloomfield High School Principal Eric Pace. You guys, that synergy is going to be very, very important in helping to steer the ship that is West Bloomfield High School. How would you describe your leadership style and maybe the camaraderie that you're hoping to have within the bigger officials with West Bloomfield High School?
So if I think about like the formal terms from my master's program that I just finished, I think my leadership style is transformational and distributive. So I think that I really believe in fostering an environment where collaboration, empowerment, and shared decision making is really driving the decisions that we make and the change that we want to bring. I think it's my job to enable learning from everyone, including families, students, and staff, so people feel empowered to be able to continue to grow. I really want to be a leader who helps create conditions where everyone around me is inspired and feels a part of the community at our school and as a part of our district. There's a quote that I continue to remember from my program that said that teachers are the surgeons in a building. And they really have the critical role in shaping students' success. And so moving from my role as teacher into my role as administrator, I really want to remember that my job is to build that community that continues to support them, that fosters curiosity amongst teachers, amongst students, fosters critical thinking and meaningful change within the team.
I love that. Great analogy and a very, very interesting way to look at things. And I think that's going to help you to navigate the changes and navigate this new position very, very well. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Megan Hritzai, the new assistant principal with West Bloomfield High School, who will be starting her tenure with this new position for the next school year. Now, Megan, when it comes to assistant principals in general, what role do you believe they play in creating a positive and inclusive school culture?
So I think that's really one of the most important parts of being an assistant principal, is knowing the school and helping everyone to feel a part of it. So it's my job to really know the students in the building, to know the staff, and be able to help to implement systems that support them. Teachers influence the culture in their own classrooms, and as an admin team, we influence the culture of the school, which trickles into the classrooms. So I think that really it all begins with a strong admin team, and as an assistant principal, I will be a part of that team where we can all work together to support the students, the staff, and the families in our building. I believe we already have a strong admin team at West Bloomfield High School, and I'm excited to continue to be a part of that team. And continue to put staff and students first so that we can make sure that this is a place where everyone wants to come every day.
That's wonderful, prioritizing every single one of the students within the high school. Now, when it comes to looking out for the students, I think balance is a very important thing to keep in mind, especially when it comes to student achievement academically, as well as the students' social and emotional well-being. How do you balance things between those two very important things for the students?
Yeah, so we know that students are most successful when they feel safe, when they feel connected to their school, when they feel supported. So as a teacher and someone who worked on the SEL team, I've learned that really when a student is struggling academically, there's some sort of underlying barrier that needs to be addressed. And so I believe that we need to, continue to look at multiple data points when we're looking at students. So we're looking at grades and attendance, we're looking at behavior, we're looking at, what teachers are observing in their classrooms, to really understand the student as a whole. So in my role, I will work with the MTSS team. I'll collaborate with counselors, with teachers, and continue to build and strengthen the programs we have like advisory so that we can provide support for students that they need academically as well as emotionally, while still maintaining high expectations for them. So supporting students doesn't mean that we're lowering standards. It means that we're helping to remove or lessen barriers so that they can meet those high expectations.
Of course.
My goal as assistant principal would be to create an environment where they continue to, feel supported while they're being challenged, because it's all linked together, like you said.
That's right. Always keeping tabs on everything with these students, making sure that nobody falls through the cracks and that everybody has the same amount of attention on them. Now, when it comes to everything that kids tend to deal with nowadays, what challenges do you see facing high school students today, and how can school leaders help navigate them successfully?
So I think this goes back to the last question that you just asked. I think that, students are balancing increasing academic expectations while they're managing stress and mental health concerns and just pressure from social media and constantly being connected to each other with their devices. Many students navigate like complex responsibilities, inside of school, outside of school, and that really can impact their engagement in school, their attendance, their overall well-being. So I think it's important as school leaders that we continue to create that environment. I've said this a lot, but it's really about how students feel in our school, that they feel connected, they feel supported, and they feel known when they walk through the walls of our school. So I think that starts really as leaders being visible in the hallways, building strong relationships with students, and ensuring that, they have a trusted adult to talk to. So whether it's, an administrator or a teacher or another staff member. I think as leaders, we also need to use data and student feedback. So getting student concerns and kind of use that to make sure that our students are getting the appropriate supports that they need through our counseling services, through our teachers, through our staff. Looking at, the interventions that we're using through our MTSS team, and then looking again at our advisory and our SEL program and what school-wide initiatives can we help to bring to the school to really help students, continue to have high expectations for them and to help them kind of develop resilience, but to help them also, develop self-advocacy and problem-solving skills. It's not our job to remove the challenges for them, but to really provide like support, opportunities for those students to navigate those challenges and really prepare for life beyond when they leave us.
It's all about that support that truly goes such a long way for every single one of these students. Megan, looking ahead, what would you hope students, staff, and families say about your impact at West Bloomfield High School after your first few years in this new role?
So I think that I would hope that people say that I, helped create a place where West Bloomfield High School is a place where they felt supported, that they felt valued and empowered to succeed. For students, I would hope that they knew that I cared about them as individuals, that I got to know them, and that I helped create opportunities for them to thrive, academically and personally and socially in their high school experience. For staff, I really would hope that they say that I'm a collaborative leader who listened and really followed through on what I said that I was going to do, and to help support them and remove barriers so that they could focus on, the teaching and what's happening in their classroom. For families, I hope that they would say that I was welcoming, that they felt that they were informed. Communication is very important to me. And that they felt confident that they knew that their child was known and supported when they sent them to school every day. So ultimately, I think I don't necessarily think I want my impact to be measured by programs that I implemented, although I want to be part of that. But I want it to be known for like the relationships I built, the positive culture that I bring to the community.
I think you can absolutely achieve that, Megan. Can't wait to see everything that you provide with this new position with West Bloomfield High School. Last question before we let you go. Any final message you'd like to give to the West Bloomfield community as you enter this new position with the high school?
I just want to say thank you to, all of the people who have impacted me. Eric Pace has been a very big influence on my career and the way that my career has kind of made it to this path. Thank you to the district for taking a chance on me 10 years ago as a brand new teacher and for taking a chance on me again. I'm really excited to continue to be a part of this community and to, continue to see where we go and what we can do from here.
And we can't wait to see where you guys go as well. Megan, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you.
Quite the dynamic team that we've got riding the ship of West Bloomfield High School with Eric Pace and Megan Hritzai. Can't wait to see what she's able to accomplish with this brand new position as she evolves from teacher to assistant principal with West Bloomfield High School. Tonight in West Bloomfield, legendary Detroit sportscaster Bernie Smilovitz will be sharing personal stories that blend humor, family history, sports, and resilience in Permission to Laugh. Attendees will hear reflections on Bernie's experience growing up as a second-generation Holocaust survivor and how his family's history shaped his perspective on life. Bernie joined us on The Splash recently to share more about his journey.
Bernie, thanks for coming on the show.
Tyler, thank you for having me.
Happy to have you on as you are getting ready for this presentation. It'll be you along with your longtime colleague and good friend, Devin Skillian, who will be talking about a lot of different topics. We know from your long career at Local 4 that so much of what you presented to our community and made us fall in love with sports had to do with humor. What role has humor played in your life, both before, during, and after your broadcast career?
That's a great question. I always felt that you had to inject humor into the show because many guys or many sportscasters felt that you were doing sports for men, and that's the simplest way to say it, and women were kind of left out. And I always thought if you had a more well-rounded sportscast where you gave the information and you entertained, that would attract a larger audience, and it worked out well for me. I mean, I spent nearly 40 years at Channel 4 here, so humor was a big part of it, and it's a big part of my personal life also.
And so telling these stories, it's important because you are able to tell kind of your journey both in and around broadcasting as well as Devin Skillian's and bring that all together. What ultimately inspired you to participate in this special event and bring this to our community?
Well, it's interesting because they called me and I accepted, and I was just going to give a speech, which I normally give, which I did at the JCC a couple of months ago too. And they said, would you rather have somebody sit with you and just ask you questions? And I said, great. And they said, any ideas who? And I go, how about Devin? So I called him up and he was all in. So he's going to moderate this and I'm going to answer the questions as we go along. So it'll probably be a lot more enjoyable than it would be if I just stood there for 45 to an hour and just droned on about everything. So we'll have a great time. I promise you that. We did this once before at the Holocaust Museum and it went over really, really well.
This is an event co-sponsored by Temple Israel, and those members of the Temple Israel community will be able to get tickets for free to this event, and they're all otherwise available online on Facebook at the Jewish Historical Society of Michigan, Facebook at Jewish Historical Michigan. And if you're a member of either the Jewish Historical Society of Michigan or Temple Israel, your tickets will be free. Bernie Smilovitz with us on the Splash Live. The title of your presentation is Permission to Laugh. Very inviting, very eye-catching. Where did that title come from? Why was that what you ultimately chose to introduce this presentation?
It's interesting that you asked that because one of the ones we thought of was Permission to Smile. But we all talked about it, and we thought permission, because of Smile Events, we thought it would be the perfect thing to call it. But what we really decided was smiling, anyone can do that. Laughing, that's a whole other level that you've got to reach. So we decided we wanted to reach that level, and we think we're going to do it.
And in a time like this, to be able to have this presentation, to have organizations like the Ziegelman Holocaust Center as well as Temple Israel be involved, and that also incorporates some of your family's history, your second generation from a family of Holocaust survivors. How does that make this an even more intimate experience for you to tell these stories with these organizations in the times that we're living in now?
It's a great question, and we do live in just awful times, especially if you're Jewish. Anti-Semitism at an all-time high. You saw the incident at Temple Israel. My feeling is that until we all feel that Temple Israel incident was an abhorrent act to all of us, I'm not sure we're going to ever get out of this thing. Everybody has to feel that way. You cannot allow it, whether it was a mosque, a church, a synagogue. You've got to feel that whatever that guy was planning to do would be horrible. If it happened in a mosque and you were Jewish, you should feel horrific about that also. But my personal history, my mom was one of 1,100 people to walk out of Auschwitz on the day they were liberated by the Russians. And my dad also was in a concentration camp, and he escaped and worked for the underground and things like that. And my parents came here from Europe in 1947, 48, met in New York and had me. And my mother was the funniest person I know. And all I can say is to have gotten through Auschwitz for 2 years and to still have a sense of humor and to laugh and to want to make people laugh, it's quite an accomplishment. I don't know anyone today who could have overcome what my parents overcame, especially my mother. But she did, and she had 2 boys, and couldn't be prouder that she had 4 grandchildren, and she has passed away as well as my dad, but her legacy is well entrenched in our lives and in our hearts.
And it's pretty remarkable as we look throughout some of the most harrowing times of history that so much of what continues to connect us is sports, is humor. We look to our entertainers, we look to our athletes for that inspiration. And on the surface level, it can seem kind of silly, but you, with your sense of humor, how you presented that in your broadcast career, and what we look at when we see inspirational moments in our Detroit sports teams, how can both of those, both humor and sports, help to bring communities together when it seems like we are so divided nowadays?
Well, I just point to whenever a team wins a championship, the whole city, convalesce, gets together and just comes together, and it's a great feeling for the city. I mean, I'm not sure where you were or if you even have age, but when the Red Wings won 4 Stanley Cups and the Pistons won a couple of championships, I was there for all of those. And it was an amazing feeling going to those parades and everything. And it really united the city and everything like that. We could use a championship or 2 here now to do the same thing again.
Yeah, absolutely, we could, and we're getting closer and closer each and every season. Bernie Smilovitz is with us, legendary Local 4 sports broadcaster, who will be putting on a presentation with his good friend Devin Skillian coming up very soon right here in West Bloomfield, called Permission to Laugh. Your tickets are available right now. You can get them in a couple of different ways. There's a link to purchase tickets on the Facebook page of the Jewish Historical Society of Michigan. That's at Jewish Historical Michigan on Facebook. And of course, if you're a member of either the Jewish Historical Society of Michigan or Temple Israel, that ticket will be free. Bernie, as we look toward parts of history and we look toward our modern days, and you lean toward this presentation, in a time like this, as our community still very much is mourning from what happened at Temple Israel and is coping with that, coping with the with the intricacies of our society today. How do you hope that your storytelling with Devin Skillian on this night and the humor and the relationship building that comes out of this experience will maybe provide some sense of healing to our community?
I just want people to come and have a good time. I just want them to enjoy themselves. I promise you there'll be a lot of laughs. There's nothing better than a laugh. My wife, who has passed away 2.5 years ago, was a therapist and a doctor, a psychologist, and she always said there's nothing better than laughter. Whenever you can make someone laugh, whenever there is people are enjoying themselves, it makes them feel good inside. All you have to do is think about it yourself. If someone tells you something, laughing, and you begin laughing, you feel so good with that, and they feel good having made you laugh. So I just want people to come there, and I think they'll learn a few things, and I think they'll have fun. And Devin's a great newsman, and he'll ask the right stuff. It's funny because I said I got a text from him the other day, and he said, and Devin and I have worked together for 30 years, so he sent me a note. He goes, "Do you want?" They said, "Do you want to send Devin questions?" So I wrote him. I said, "We'll see you on the 17th." Blah blah blah. I was asked, "Do you want questions?" And my answer is, not only does he not want questions, he already knows all the answers. So he could do the whole speech by himself. We've done that. So, yeah, it was kind of funny, too. So we'll see. It'll be fun. I'm telling you, we'll have a great time that night.
And it's all about building relationships, too, and having an enjoyable time, building a sense of community, along with Devin and yourself. Bernie Smilovich joining us on the Splash Live. Bernie, one thing that you have to do as a journalist, and especially as a sports journalist, is build those relationships, communicate with people of all different walks of life and backgrounds. What lessons do you hope people can learn from what they'll hear from you and Devin in this conversation that they can apply each and every day to maybe make a more peaceful community here in our area and beyond?
Well, I'm in the middle of writing a speech called Permission to Laugh, and I think it's going to teach people, and some of what I'll talk about here at this speech will teach people how to laugh. Everybody has the ability to laugh, but not everybody laughs. So you have to kind of realize this can really help me psychologically. This could help with work too. I mean, there have been studies done by Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, CEOs. 98% of them want somebody with a sense of humor to work for them. They don't want a dull, motley crew just sitting around. They want people. You're energized when you're in a good mood and you have humor permeating around you. So I think they'll try to understand that, especially if there's some businessmen there. Maybe they'll latch onto it and take it with them, I would hope.
That would be a very well needed skill for them to take into their businesses each and every day, make for a more inviting environment and some creative freedom for the people around them as well. Bernie Smilovich, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us for this. Any lasting message for the community as they get ready to join you coming up here in West Bloomfield?
No, I mean, everybody just have a great time and come and enjoy yourself, and we'll have a Q&A session, so bring lots of questions. I just always like to have fun no matter what I'm doing, so that's my whole goal in this thing. Let's go have some fun, have some laughs, and I think everyone will enjoy it.
It'll be a very good time. And
hey, by the way, good job on the questions. You're really good. I mean, you didn't mess around here. You came at me with the hot and heavy stuff. That's good.
Yeah, they gave me a list. I look at it. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. Close the list, and I go with the conversation. Best way to go about it.
They gave you the list of questions?
They gave me a list of questions as a guide. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. And I'm like, look, it's good to look at, to be like, get that next thought in your head. But we're just talking here. We're good.
That's very good. Yeah, you got it. You got it going.
Well, I appreciate your time, and thank you so much for the compliment, Bernie. We will definitely see you out in the community coming up very soon in West Bloomfield for Permission to Laugh. Thank you so much.
Let's do this once, and I'll ask the questions. You have the answers.
Absolutely. That sounds like a great plan for the future. Bernie Smilovich joining us on the Splash Live. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See you, Tyler. Great job.
Praise from a broadcasting legend to our own Tyler Kieft. Once again, Permission to Laugh with Bernie Smilovich is going to be taking place tonight here in West Bloomfield. Memoirs by Perique is a newly opened luxury event venue in West Bloomfield, designed to provide an upscale setting for weddings, corporate gatherings, milestone celebrations, galas, and private events. The venue was created with the vision of blending modern sophistication with timeless elegance, providing so many beautiful memories, looking to provide so many beautiful memories within this community. Co-owners Kendra Pack and Tony Camilleri join us now on the Splash Live to tell us more about this brand new space. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having us, Jake.
Of course. I'll start with you, Kendra. Congratulations on opening Memoirs by Perique. What inspired you to bring this elegant new venue right here to West Bloomfield?
Oh my God, it's been a dream come true. That's been a part of my life, thinking about opening up an event space for over 20 years. And I've been a part of the community. I lived in West Bloomfield for the last 28 years. And we did open up another event space that was in Oakland County. It was in Southfield. It was on a smaller scale. It only held up to 120 people. And what we did was we looked for years, the last couple of years, and we could not find a spot that could accommodate scaling up to a bigger class of more than 150 people or more. And we looked and looked and looked, and finally this space came in our laps through my daughter, who is a partner in the business as well. And we just decided to roll with it. I fell in love with the space, and we just did it.
And that's awesome. And I got a chance to take a look at the space fairly recently. It's beautiful. It's exactly what this community needs. And I'm curious, Tony, I'll go to you for this one. What vision did you have when designing Memoirs, and what experience do you hope every guest takes away after attending an event there?
Well, Jake, with like Kendra mentioned, Kiera, her daughter, and Kendra and myself, we wanted to kind of emulate what they had already done at the other Periques, but we wanted to do it on a larger scale. And so this space allowed us to do that. We wanted, we had a vision of, we wanted elegance, we wanted opulence, where people would walk in and go, wow, look at this. And that's the reaction we're getting, which is kind of cool, because we have very high ceilings, open space, right, clean walls. And so we just wanted to be elegant and be able to hold whatever types of events people would want. But on top of that, it's not just the space, but it's also the experience. When people come in, we want them to have that country club feel, where the guest feels so important, like, wow, I'm special by just being at this event, right? From the time they walk through that door to the time they leave, we want them to feel very special and feel like they want to hold their event there, when something comes up for themselves personally.
That's exactly right. Everybody wants that feeling. Everybody wants to feel special and to be in the right environment to really exemplify and to really heighten these events. Tony, how do you believe Memoirs fills a need within the Greater West Bloomfield community?
Well, Jake, it's interesting because we've been out in the community talking to community leaders and business owners, and the first reaction has been, wow, we really need you here. Right. So that's kind of nice. I mean, we knew that there was a lack of event spaces of our size in the West Bloomfield area, but it's been very reassuring to hear that. So that's, definitely we know there's a need for events. I mean, West Bloomfield's such a diverse community, and there's, very rich in cultural events. And so we hope to be an integral part of that and giving people the best space possible to hold those events.
Now, when it comes to the design of this venue, Kendra, I'll go back to you for this one. What design elements were most important in creating that feeling of elegance with Memoirs by Perique?
Well, what stands out to most and what we wanted to do was we took a lot of the pieces that were missing with other spaces that we found and what we didn't have at our other space. So I would say the chandeliers, was an integral part of it, having tall ceilings and a concrete floor so that we can actually capitalize on the athletic aspect of having events like Pilates and things of that nature, and especially the bar. We did an oversized bar. It's like 22 feet where you can have 4 or 5 bartenders. One of the takeaways that we found from other spaces is there were long lines and people had to wait for their drinks. So we are able to host at least 4 or 5 bartenders to make your event run as smoothly as possible.
That's great. Providing more of that space and providing more chances for people to really relax and to really enjoy themselves at an environment like this. Now, Kendra,
Yeah.
There's a lot of different event venues all throughout southeastern Michigan. How does Memoirs distinguish itself from those other venues?
Oh, well, again, we took away from what we found in the community. One of the biggest things is that we have open vendor bar. We have open vendor food, so you can bring in your own caterers, which allows other catering companies for us to collaborate with and spread the wealth around. With the country clubs and things of that nature, you have to use their own food. So that was one benefit that we wanted to share with the public, is that you can have an open vendor policy. So that is a huge takeaway.
For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Kendra Pack and Tony Camilleri, the co-owners of a brand new event space, a brand new luxury event venue in West Bloomfield, Memoirs by Parikh, which is just recently opened within Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Now, Tony, how important is personalization in today's event industry, and how does Memoirs help clients bring their own vision to life?
Yeah, Jake, you're absolutely right. I mean, people have these events, they spend a lot of money. They want it to be very personal, right? That's their personality comes out through how they design that. So we, again, as we've expressed, having that open canvas, with the clean lines, the neutral colors, concrete floor, they really can transform the space into whatever they want. I mean, we have steel girders that are open in the ceiling where they can hang whatever they want from the rooftops, right? And what we definitely encourage them to transform the space into whatever they would desire, right? I mean, you can make it whatever color, you can bring in props, bring in stages. I mean, there's really not too many boundaries that they have to create that space. And that's big in events today, right? They transform the space into what they want, whether it's a baby shower, everything is pink or blue, right? Or, it's deep red for their whatever event they want to have, they can have that ability to do that. So I think that's really the special thing, is the high ceilings, open space. And then we do work with a ton of event planners that are great at that aspect, right? Transforming that space and finding out what's important to that client. And we're going to allow for them to create that dream and vision.
It's like Memoirs is a blank canvas, and you are handing the paintbrush to the clients and basically saying, go nuts. This is your space. Do with it what you want. And that is amazing. Now, Kendra, what role do you hope Memoirs will play in enhancing West Bloomfield's reputation as a destination for upscale events and memorable experiences?
Well, our hope is that we bring community together. Repeat that question again.
Yes, of course.
My mind was on something else.
Of course. What role do you hope Memoirs will play in enhancing West Bloomfield's reputation as a destination for upscale events and memorable experiences?
Well, providing them that paintbrush. I mean, they can come in and do whatever they want to do with the space. And we want to be a part of their memories. That's why we called it Memoirs. We want to accent from the time you're born. We want to be in every element of your life, from the time you graduate from school, graduate from college, every aspect, getting married. We want to be here for the long run.
And I think your business absolutely will be here for the long run, providing so many memories here within Greater West Bloomfield. Now, we are running short on time, so I'm going to ask you both one final question. As you look towards the future, what are your long-term goals for Memoirs, and how would you like the venue to become part of the fabric of the West Bloomfield community? Kendra, we'll start with you.
Well, again, being here. We want to celebrate and be a part of the fabric of West Bloomfield. We want to hit every milestone that you have and let at least Memoirs be a part of that.
Tony.
Yeah, well, just to kind of ditto that, I mean, we both, all three of us partners live 5 minutes from the space, right? Kendra's been at West Bloomfield for over 25 years. And so we want to be an integral part of the community and, not just hosting events for, private events that are opulent, where, a grand wedding or whatever, but we also want to be a part of community events, right? So we want to be an integral part where we can be a resource as well, right? We're here for the long haul to serve the community first and foremost. And that entails, some nonprofit work and things of that nature. We also want to be involved in that. So if ever there's events that people have and they want to, reach out to us, because we love to be a part of this, and we are here for the long run, and we want to be servants to the community.
And I think there's going to be so much potential with this place and so many opportunities for lasting memories here in the community. Kendra, Tony, thank you both so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you,
Thank
Jake.
you.
Appreciate you.
Hope to see so many people in the community stopping by Memoirs by Parikh for anything that they need, for birthdays, for celebrations, for anniversaries, for whatever you have in mind. As we said, they've got the canvas, they'll hand you the paintbrush, do with it what you want. They are now open within Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. As we said earlier in the show, we are still talking about the Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair, which took place recently. Everybody was out at this event, everyone from the Splash Live team. So many amazing resources available within the community to help your health and to help your wealth and to help your wellness. One of those places is Resurgence Physical Therapy Services, a locally owned physical therapy clinic in West Bloomfield that specializes in individualized one-on-one rehab programs designed to help patients recover from injuries, manage chronic pain, and improve overall mobility and function. Our own Jonathan Montgomery was at the event to speak with Dr. Nimesh Seth and his team to learn more about the business and what they provide.
Jonathan Montgomery, Civic Center TV, and I am here at the 2026 Health and Wellness Fair here at Orchard Mall. Now, I had the chance to stop by Resurgence Physical Therapy. Now, I have two other physical therapists here, and tell us your names and just tell us, a little bit about the business.
Sure. My name is Nimesh Seth.
Okay.
And I'm Nick Ayers, also physical therapist.
Okay, so for those who don't know what physical therapy is, just explain. Nimesh, I'll start with you first. Explain a little bit about what you guys do at Resurgence.
So we're your neighborhood physical therapy place. We're small, and we work with our patients ourselves. We're very one-on-one care, and that's what we focus on. Every single patient is very unique, and their condition is unique, so we design our plan of care according to that. We deal with a lot of ortho cases, pre and post-op. We do neurological cases like Parkinson's, muscular dystrophy, and all that. We also do athletic training with kids or adults. So whatever you have, we're there to help you.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing, because a lot of times you see people who are just doing the athletes and the training, but you guys it's almost a rehabilitation, right? When it comes to like injuries and everything. So Nick, just tell us about that a little bit. When it comes to like some of the people that you've seen and you help, how have you seen like when the first time they come in, maybe they're injured or something's going on, and then when they leave and when they're done, how's it been a big significant change in what you guys do?
Absolutely. So one of the big things, like Nimesh said, is like really focus on like regaining function. Keeping the mobility and functional like every day, right? Let's say we got our typical elderly patient starting noticing some falls and is scared, right? They're afraid to be in the community, afraid to play with their kids. That's our thing, is maintaining that ability to enjoy their life and their time with their family, their goals, right? Maybe some athletes. We have some bikers, some people who are older on. They're like, hey, I want to be able to bike 20 miles a day. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Other people, again, like in the fall risk, we have kids come in and, hey, want to get back to the sport, the field. So we cover all spectrums, all ages, and we really like to, that's our ultimate goal, is like as a person, what's your goal, your level of activity, and how can we get you back to it better than ever and make sure you can crush all your goals and daily tasks that you want to do.
Yeah, so I have a personal experience with the physical therapy. Not me myself, but I had a friend and my girlfriend. They both had injured their knees. And if it wasn't for the physical therapist they went to, they never would have recovered as quick as they did. My girlfriend, she went there every single day. Worked on her knee and everything like that. And by the end of it, she was already walking on it because she had crutches and everything like that. So it's a benefit for sure. And it's good for the community to know these things. Now, what is Nimesh? I'll come back to you. So, what is one thing that you feel like, for those who don't know or they're afraid about? Because you have a lot of people at home they may be injured and they never try physical therapy because they just kind of stuck with the injury and then want to work on it. What is one thing that you would say, just to make them feel comfortable to come out and be at Resurgence?
If you have a question, it's better to ask. If you have pain, which is more than 2 weeks, you've had it, it's always better to get it checked. We're here to help. we will answer your questions. You can walk in or you can call us and make an appointment, and we will answer your questions about what's going on, and we can assess you. Ask your doctor, and if they want you to do PT, don't be scared, because physical therapy is not just boring exercises. We try and make it fun. We want you to get back to your functional ability, how you were, and it could be anything. As Nick said, it could be picking up grandkids to running a marathon. We see everything, and we help patients recover to where they were before.
That's nice. And
yeah, I would add to it too. I think a big thing is like people are very fearful sometimes, and one of the big things that we like to show is like how much strength you really have, especially when you're in pain. People are like, I can't do this, it hurt, or I'm worried it's going to hurt worse than that. And it's awesome to see that change when people, that light switch kicks in. They're like, oh wait, I can actually do this, and I'm stronger than ever. I've had patients that were afraid of 5-pound weights, and they're picking up 30-pound, 40-pound weights from the floor, no back pain, where they're afraid to bend over before. And so it's so cool to see that switch happen, and they really see like, man, I can actually take control of my life again. And that's one of our, like, I think for us, like that's like my favorite thing about PT, becoming a physical therapist, is seeing that switch kick on and be like, you are stronger than you think. So that's what we like to kind of promote in our clinic as well, is that give back that life that you may be fearful that you've lost a little bit.
Yeah, and that's really good. I love that you said that, because it's a sense of, you know, it's more than just the body, right? It's about the mind too. Because a lot of people, you know, if you've been walking on your knee for so long and it's been hurting, you're used to that and your mind is conditioned to that. But you guys are saying like it's more than that. You guys, I'm helping you with the body, but mentally too. I'm leaving you there. I'm pushing you past the limits that you feel like you can't go past. And then people, they come out better. They come out stronger than they believe, and you know, and they're so in it. So, but I think that's such a great thing that you guys are doing. I thank you so much for this interview. Thank you just coming and talking to us, because you know a lot of people just think physical therapy is one way, but you guys are saying it's more than that. It's not just about for the athlete, for the person who has a, you know, ACL torn or anything like that. It's for the average day person, anybody who wants to come and just, you know, wants to feel better. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
Appreciate
so
it.
no problem. And that is Resurgence Therapy, just another one of the vendors at the West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair. And it's just a great time talking to them, you know, about this, because physical therapy isn't just, like they said, it's not just about the mind, body. It's building the body first, but they're also encouraging to build the mind. And that's something in Greater West Bloomfield that we all want. Pacific Center TV, I'm Jonathan Montgomery.
Once again, you can see all the highlights from the Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair on our on-demand page on civiccentertv.com. But that's going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. Big thank you to our guests and everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible. I've been your host, Jake Schaff. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.